Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let us once again get right to the news.
Right to the news. So we have some Obi-Wan Kenobi news today.
I don't believe it.
We do. The fateful rematch we were originally teased and promised could still be coming. So there's a Twitter account. It's the Disney Plus Hotstar calendar. This is not for the United States. It's a overseas calendar, like for India and other countries over there. Their account may have revealed the rematch taking place. It has showcased its calendar for their week's upcoming releases. The dates are not right for our country, clearly, as we don't have to wait till Friday to get our last episode of Kenobi, but they do, apparently.
Are we sure this isn't spoiler territory? For people who haven't seen it or are caught up?
I guess if you haven't seen it, it could be.
I think this might deserve a little bit of a spoiler warning, especially where the
Sorry,
conversation
everybody.
might go, considering what is shown. Anyway, do carry on.
The service is hyping up the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi with a new poster, showcasing the start of what looks like a duel between Kenobi and Vader. From the looks at things, it looks like it's going to be on Mustafar. You can see Vader's castle in the distance back there, so we know where it supposedly takes place. It is worth noting, however, that promotional posters don't necessarily reflect the final products. I mean, Mustafar's already been featured in concept art images that were released in, November last year. This promotional image does suggest, that there could be one more fight. I mean, we were promised the fight of the century. So,
Beware.
the
rematch of the century, I believe.
Yes, the rematch of the century. I could see the rematch of the century taking place on Mustafar.
I could see them wanting it to take place there, and I do. This is definitely spoiler territory if you're not caught up, but I mean, I don't see how they get back to Mustafar at this point.
I do.
I mean, Kenobi goes there to lead him back there because he knows it'll trigger him or something.
Either Kenobi lures him back there or Vader takes him there, in the sight of where he thinks he is the most powerful.
Okay, so you think Kenobi is going to surrender to Vader, and Vader's going to be like, you know what? Let's go back to Mustafar. We could have the rematch of the century there.
We have no idea how far away from Mustafar they are. They might be relatively close.
That doesn't matter in Star Wars. I mean, you're as far or as close as you need to be to the next system,
Got
right?
it.
I mean, that's what I've always said about space. If you pay attention to space travel in Star Wars, it takes as long or as short as the plot needs it to. Especially in The Rise of Skywalker. That movie takes place in 16 hours, and I swear they go from one end of the galaxy to the other and back again.
I mean, we gotta think Vader could bring Kenobi here for this final duel between him, the place where he fought his master so long ago.
I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say that's impossible.
It could fuel his anger and make him
He wants them to
even
suffer, and
Yeah,
he's going to torture him there, and he's going
Right.
to... I guess. I don't know.
I mean, that could be why... Kenobi could have easily either hit an escape pod or just surrendered himself to try and protect the people of the path and let them escape.
Well, I think he's going to do that. I think he knows that... We talked about in our predictions, Kenobi knows where he goes, Vader's going to follow. I don't know that means Vader's going to be like, all right, turn my Star Destroyer and I'm going to follow Kenobi. We're all going to follow Kenobi and let that ship go. To me, it's kind of like, I'm going to get in my own ship and just go after him myself, but, I shall deal with him myself kind of thing. But
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But certainly, I think there is a rematch coming. I still think we're going to get that big rematch of the century. We didn't get it yet. And I guess we could work it on Mustafar somehow?
I think it's going to happen. The concept art from ages ago that I've shown probably 100 times. It's probably going to be the thumbnail.
I think yeah, it's pretty well known at this point.
It looks very Mustafari to me. There's fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think the poster's wrong. I think we're going back to Mustafar. I think that's a wrap up to their chapter in the story. He's gonna leave him broken on Mustafar again.
Kenobi's gonna leave him again on the fiery shores.
The fiery shores of Mustafar.
Is he gonna scream at him, "You were my brother" again?
Maybe.
Or you're no longer my brother. It's over. You're not my brother anymore. We're not friends anymore.
Don't follow my Twitter account.
Yeah, I'm unfriending you. I'm just gonna straight ghost you at this point. I'm going back to wherever I was. But no, in all seriousness, I guess, I don't know. I don't want it to feel so... I've always had my reservations about doing this in the first place, about the whole series and the whole rematch and Vader and Kenobi meeting each other. I've of course had that. And I've said I'm open to it because I understand They want to tell this story. They want to make their money. I get it. A lot of people want to see it, sure. But I've had my reservations about just how you're going to do it, how contrived it's going to feel, how silly and kind of like, oh, really? We're going to go back to Mustafar and we're going to redo the whole thing? I don't know. To me, this just feels like probably not the right way to do it.
Oh, Vader taking him back to his castle, though, could make sense.
Showing it off, like, look what I have now, Kenobi.
Last time we were here.
Yeah, I had no possessions last
have a castle.
time. Yeah, now I have a castle. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm 99% sure they're going to fight again in this final episode. 99% sure it's going to be Kenobi kind of turning himself in again, I guess, and
sacking himself.
Sacrificing himself so the others can get away. I mean, that makes the most sense. Mm-hmm. So Leia can get away. You know, we really can't have Vader getting on that ship, and well, I guess we can because Vader's confronted Leia before, but it's just going to make things even messier if, you know, Vader and Leia are seeing each other, and I don't think we need to do all that right at this point. I don't know. I guess, sure, Mustafar, why not? Do it again.
Let's move on then. Dave Filoni has a story idea for Ahsoka Tano and Luke Skywalker's first meeting. While we finally, got a scene between Anakin's Padawan and his son in Book of Boba Fett, it was heavily implied it was not the first meeting between those two, clearly.
Yeah.
That they already had met and knew each other previously. Dave Filoni has revealed that he has an idea of what their first meeting would look like, but hasn't decided upon where to tell the story, or even how to tell it. He did interview with Screen Rant after his Mando Plus panel at the celebration, where he revealed he had interest in telling this tale of their first encounter. The good news is he's put serious thought into it, and he knows what the story would look like. With that also comes some bad news, in that it's not going to be shown in Ahsoka, and he doesn't know where the tale will fit in amongst the greenlit Lucasfilm projects. Here's what he has to say. Yeah, I have the whole story about that I devised many years ago, actually, because I had to put that tile into place to do what I'm doing now and understand it. I haven't found a way to tell that story yet. I've told a piece of it afterwards, but we'll see. You'd love it. It's a great story.
Well, then, why didn't you show us that?
It probably just didn't fit what he wanted to.
I get it didn't fit, but I feel like that's what we wanted first. I know entitled Star Wars fans were never happy. Yeah. I know all that, but I feel like you really should have opened with Luke meeting Ahsoka instead of just, like they've already met. It feels like it's going to take something away when we do see the initial meeting.
Maybe. I
don't know. I mean, and as for a perfect place for it, I mean, Tales of the Jedi, the little animated, I would be fine with that being an animation.
Put it into like season 2 or something.
Yeah, considering, I would almost like to meet, have, animated Ahsoka, nothing against Rosario Dawson or live action, nothing at all. But I'd almost like to have like the animated Ashley Eckstein Ahsoka meeting animated voiced by Mark Hamill Luke Skywalker. I don't know. That sounds cool to me.
Very appropriate, honestly.
I think that feels more appropriate than Rosario getting that kind of honor, if you will. Again, no offense to her. I think she does a fine Ahsoka. I know I'm not trying to talk trash here. But no, I think that would be cool. And I think that's the perfect place for it, depending on what the story is in Tales of the Jedi, the little animated shorts they're doing.
Well, it's not exactly story. A singular story, it's stories.
Well, yeah, that's what my point is. There's many different stories, and I thought one of them was about Ahsoka, so could he be...
three of them.
So could he be throwing us off the scent here?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Come on, it's Dave Filoni. He doesn't tell you anything he doesn't need to tell you.
Yeah, but I still don't think so.
All right.
In addition, Dave Filoni provided an interesting response to fans expecting Ahsoka is the sequel to Rebels. I would say that there's a strong aspect of that from what I showed at the Mando Plus panel, and it's kind of fulfilling the promise of a story that I was going to tell, and I think we found the best way to tell it. So I'm excited about that. We'll see how it evolves. It's just exciting to get to do it, so I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's kind of a sequel, but I think it's going to be its own thing.
Yeah, it's going to be its own thing. It's going to be a big Ahsoka story, not just a Rebels story.
Yeah, I think it fills that blank in what happened to Ezra, and then it goes from there. Mm-hmm. I think that mainly the first season is going to be, let's look for Ezra, let's deal with Ron a little bit, let's bring him into the bigger picture more, and then, other, the Mandalorian and maybe Rangers of the New Republic or whatever might replace it. Maybe that starts, and we get that bigger overarching plot that we were promised, that culmination story at some point that Kennedy promised. So
all right, let's move on to the last segment, our favorite segment for Monday. New this week in Star Wars, etc. All right. So all of our stuff is like Wednesday this week, like everything.
Comic books,
so.
then?
Start with comic books. We've got Marvel Comics Crimson Reign number 5. Finished up that story, I think.
Yes, and then we have one more part of that bigger story.
We also have Obi-Wan Wednesday, so maybe some new Lego Pop Vinyls, Black Series, Vintage, Retro. Something, who knows? Yeah. I mean, they always show these little Mattel toys and stuff. I just never talk about them because they're just kids' toys.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically collector's toys. I mean, collector's toys. Well, they are toys, but yeah, collector things more than just any old toy.
Of course, we have the final episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which nobody will want to talk about.
Nobody will be interested in that, yeah.
Just gloss over that.
We might not even cover it. Who knows?
Then we have some non-Star Wars category. We've got Wednesday is the next episode of Ms. Marvel.
And we didn't do a review on the last one.
Our bad. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, it was kind of a part busy, part... I don't know. Was it?
We'll get one this week.
We'll probably do it this week, yeah. It wasn't quick review like, it was okay. It was okay.
That's what everyone thinks.
Very slow. But yeah, that's quick review.
We also have the drop of Netflix season 3 of The Umbrella Academy.
Okay.
I know we watched the first 2
We've seen
seasons.
the first 2, yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. We're watching we're finally almost caught up with The Boys, too.
Yeah, we've got 1 episode to go and we are caught up with The Boys again.
All right, well, I guess that's all we got for you this time, so take to the comments below, tell us what you think. Are we going?
Yeah, we talk about the fact that we watched the Orville, but that's too Star Trek-y for this channel, isn't it?
I don't know, sometimes, you can't cross the streams, otherwise a reaction will happen and the world will blow up. But no, we have been watching Orville. It feels a lot like kind of classic Star Trek. But anyway, take to the comments below. Tell us what you think. We going to Mustafar for the big rematch of the century, or would that just be too contrived, too ridiculous? Whatever the case may be, you know what to do. Leave your comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.